week's Household Huddle. Before we start this week's huddle, I want to say thank you to all of our friends that shared pictures of their Minute to Win It games from last week. Awesome job, everyone. Okay, now before we jump into this week's story, let's take a minute to remember the 4 steps in a household huddle. Do you remember what they are? Breathe. So first we take a deep breath. Because taking a deep breath slows us down a little and helps us to be present right where we are. Share. Then we share with one another, sharing our high and a low, or a joy and a concern. And this is when we not only get a chance to share, but we also get a chance to listen to each other. It's also during our share time that we can share the story from the week. Reflect. During Reflect, we take some time to think about the story. Maybe thinking about what the story says to us or how it connects to our lives. Sometimes we also reflect by doing an activity together. Thank. And finally, we thank. Sometimes we thank someone in our household huddle for something that they've done, and sometimes we thank God for something that we've experienced in our lives. It's that easy. Okay, my friends, so today's story comes from the book of Matthew. And this week we hear the words of Jesus. So, do you think today's reading comes from the Old Testament or the New Testament? Yes, the New Testament. Now in today's story, Jesus is talking about 2 everyday, ordinary things. He's talking about salt, and he's talking about light. Now, let's think for just a minute about what kinds of food we put salt on. Did I hear someone say popcorn? Or corn on the cob? Some people put salt on their food because they think it tastes better that way, because salt adds more flavor. And then, let's think about what happens if you're in a dark room and you turn on a nightlight or you light a candle. It can be just a little tiny light, but that little light can really light up the darkness, can it? Well, Jesus was always teaching the disciples, just like he teaches us today, and one day Jesus said, "When you follow me, you make a difference in the world." That means that you make a difference, and I make a difference, and our church makes a difference, and that's pretty exciting, isn't it? Well, Jesus went on to say, "Be like salt for the earth." I wonder what he meant. Well, salt gives food flavor and brings out the goodness in it, right? He also said, "Be like light for the world." A bright light in the darkness can't be hidden. I mean, people don't light candles and then cover them up, do they? No, they put a candle on a table or in a window so that everyone can see it. So just like that candle, we should let the light of God shine out of us and onto other people around us, shouldn't we? Well, today we have a very special celebration, a birthday, because this week is our church's birthday. So I wonder, how old do you think our church is? Do you think it's 10 years old? Or 50 years old? 132 years old? Or 275 years old? This week, our church is turning 308 years old. Now that is old. Can you believe that our church started before the United States of America? It started before electricity and televisions and telephones and video games. It started before cars and McDonald's and Disney World. And for 308 years, with the help of all of its members and friends, including you and me, our church has been sharing salt and light and the love of God with the world. Okay, a few things you might want to talk with your huddle about. When Jesus talks about salt and light, what does that make you think of? How could you share salt and light with the world? And what do you love the most about our church? Great job, everyone. Okay, if you're looking for an activity to do with your household huddle, how about if you do one of our favorite activities in Oldtown and decorate some cookies? All you need is a few sugar cookies, some frosting, and some sprinkles. When you're all done, maybe you can even sing happy birthday to our church. Well, my friends, we always end our household huddles with a thank you. This week, I'd like to thank all the founders of our church way back in 1712 for starting such an awesome church. I'd also like to thank all of our members and friends who work so hard to make sure that our church is a safe and a welcoming place for everyone. Thank you to all of you, too, for joining us today. I hope you enjoy your household huddles this week. And remember, household huddle can happen anytime and anywhere, so just be creative. But no matter where you are or what you're doing, remember that you are amazing. And don't ever forget that God loves you just the way you are. And so do I. If you'd like to share pictures of the cookies that you decorate to be part of next week's Household Huddle video, you can email them to Pastor Kelly at oldtownucc.org.